Let's just get into the show, y'all. Appreciate y'all. Mind State of the Trustee series, part 2. So, I'm one of them guys out here, as far as like when it comes to information, edification, and education, Obviously, more specifically, we're not talking about legal advice because I don't give legal advice. I can't. I don't have the legal qualifications, the statutory qualifications to give statutory legal advice. But I can, just kick it, on some informational, educational purposes. So when it comes to that, as a trustee, let me take that back and finish what I was saying. As Sot on the foundation on High Frequency Radio, I look to disseminate information that others would otherwise charge for, flat out on the radio. I do it on purpose. I haven't said it lately, but I like to pancake toast. And I do that on purpose because I know what's coming. I can see what's coming. I know what's coming. And a lot of people know what's coming. It's just my people don't know what's coming. The majority of my people do not know what's coming. They're not even prepared, not even close to being prepared. And that concerns me. I wouldn't say what I do is out of fear because it's not. It's out of genuine concern, and concern is a derivative of love. Concern is not a derivative of fear. Follow me? So this is out of true concern. And I disseminate a lot of information, like I said, that people or others would otherwise charge money for. Charge Federal Reserve notes or whatever like that. Because I just don't think, I think that's not, I don't think that's noble. A, and B, I think that, and not to be melodramatic or anything like that, but I believe that, we're getting to a point where we're kind of getting out of time. We're running out of time. Transitioning to the private and developing the proper trustee mind state takes time. It takes consistency. It takes dedication. It takes 100% accountability, 100% responsibility. You can't point fingers at, and becoming a trustee seriously will help you understand how much you don't take accountability for yourself. How much I don't take responsibility for my actions and blame it on someone else. Oh, you called me the B word. Well, you were yelling at me. Like I didn't even take responsibility for what I said. I put it on you. You know what I mean? How much I actually did that in my life, until I really, really, really started, really being on my trustee, doing my trustee dance. And that's number one. And this is the thing that I want to, because people won't tell you this. I feel like people in my position don't want to tell you this stuff because they feel like you're not going to complete a transaction with them. And I'm not really tripping on no transactions, man. You know what I'm saying? The work me is worthy they hire. I got three situations where it can be considered transactions in the private. But other than that, I'm not tripping on you completing a transaction. I just want you to know. And if you want to accept an offer, we can move forward. But I'm not a salesman. I'm into in sharing information because we need to be knowledgeable to make proper decisions. If I don't know that I could jump in the boat and not drown, I'm finna drown. So, with that being said, Mindset of a Trustee series is just I'm trying to do nuances. I'm trying to do mind state things, that isn't given in like some process, step 12-step process, the 12-step private process that you got from, whoever to, whatever. I'm not feeling that. And most people who are doing, the trust in this and the blah, 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 and the discharge and stuff, they're not sitting down and actually letting people know, like, yo, you're going to be 100% responsible for the things you do. You can't blame anything on nobody else. If you don't know what you're doing, you can lose control of everything. I'm not going to say lose everything because as a trustee, we own nothing, control everything. You can pretty much lose control of everything. And on top of that, you have to create some sort of system or curriculum of education for the heirs of this family estate. It's a broad thing. It takes you outside of yourself and puts you into a position of community, of tribe, of a village and stuff. Where we're all taking care of each other. Yeah, there's some sort of hierarchy power, but we're all taking care of each other. And if we have a problem, we go see so and so. And why do we all go see so and so? Because he tells us what's going down without making it personal. Because we know he has our best interest at heart, so to speak. And those things develop naturally. And naturally, when you're going private and you're bringing your family into the private, you become that person when it comes to the family trust, when the family estate. And if you can't handle that responsibility, put it down. Stop learning. You know what I'm saying? Like, what you need to do is learn something else. Or find someone that you can pay who will do it for you. And good luck with that. Because no one is going to put your family estate interest before their family estate. No one's going to do that. And that's impossible. So 100% responsible, 100% accountable. If you can't be accountable for your actions and your behaviors and your demonstrations, good luck with yourself. Good luck on achieving certain levels of success, certain levels of comfort, certain levels of tranquility, certain levels of peace mentally. Good luck, good luck, good luck. It's not going to happen because you'll always be pointing at so-called or alleged problems that aren't actually the problems. So you're focusing your time on something that's not going to fix what's going on. So you perpetually stay in the same situation. Same thing with trust. You can get a private package. You know what I'm saying? We sent you the, you know what I'm saying? We got the package, 12-step, go private with the birth certificate or whatever. You know what I'm saying? Just, give us this and we're going to send it to you. And really, it could be a real ill contract. It could be some real ill minutes. If you don't know what you're doing, you might as well have gotten that trust from a lawyer, from the state. It might as well be a state entity. It might as well be an irrevocable legislative trust. Matter of fact, it don't mean that if you don't know what you're doing, it's not an irrevocable trust. It's a revocable trust. Why? Because you're going to do something that shows it's irrevocable. Are you going to commingle? You're going to do something. You're going to do something. And that takes, you got to understand that is being accountable. That's being responsible. If I'm going to go private, if I'm going to bring my private, I'm going to title all this stuff in trust and stuff, and then make my children the beneficiaries and the successor trustees, it is my responsibility to educate them on how to take on this responsibility and the importance of this responsibility in order to educate my heirs with the responsibility of succession of this estate. I must educate myself first. Responsible, accountable, realistic. In order to educate myself, I need to take time. Can't sit around, I don't have time. I had the babysitter, and then, I had to go to work, and then, you know what I'm saying? My grandma called me. Man, ain't gonna work. I'm telling you. You have to take time. If you don't take time, you'll never have it. You can't make time. It's outside of your control. Think about it realistically, like specifically. Can you make time? You may make a time slot available in your schedule for the day, but you can't make time. You can take time out of your day or take the time out of your life to invest in your education. Otherwise, it ain't going to work. I don't care. There ain't no magic trust indenture that you can just put on the desk and everybody is like, they start backing up. They put their hands up and they start backing up and say, I'm sorry for disrespecting you. We didn't know who you were, trust possessor, and tell us what you want. It's not going to happen. It's not going to happen. That's the mindset of a trustee. Accountable, responsible, completely invested in furthering their education with regards to the administration of this estate. Contract law, commercial law, private law, all the different jurisprudences of law that is necessary, all the different venues and realms that this entity can touch is to be searched, sought out, and learned, absorbed, understood. That's the mindset of a trustee. You gonna have a real estate investment trust? You better know real estate law. You better know. Hey, how does that work with statute of limitations? You get a bad house, and you know what I'm saying, the sewer back up, and you got poop dookie all in your basement. How much time? How long do you have before you can? How long do you have before you're unable to, sue the seller for non-disclosure of a detrimental, a material with the plumbing? How long do you have? That's called the statute of limitations. You can't just be a trustee. Oh, I'm a trustee. I got contract law. You know what I'm saying? It's Article 3, B. No state can pass any law impairing the obligation to contract. What? Well, you don't know anything about commercial real estate law. And that's how title is passed. Before you can bring your property into the private, for real, you got to handle that commercial title, which is a warranty deed or the trust deed. You got to handle that. That's not enough. A trust deed is not enough. It's not perfect title. It's not complete title. That is not a lodio. And a trust, a proper contract trust, can hold a lodio title. And so if you don't perfect that title that's held by the trust, are you in breach of your fiduciary duty? I don't know. I guess it depends on the indenture. Patience. Patience is number one. Patience with yourself. A, patience. 1.A. With yourself. B, with the public that you are interfacing with as trustee on behalf of your family trust, business trust, whatever. Patience. Bankers are ignorant, not hating, not being racist. Maybe they're being prejudiced. Maybe someone came in and scammed them and they almost lost their job. Maybe they don't like so-called black people. But to a banker, opening an account is opening an account. It's a new account. It looks good on the record. Whether it's a trust account, it's a corporate account, it's a business account, it's an individual account. Opening accounts. That's why if you look at Wells Fargo, they was opening up fake accounts. All types of fake people. Accounts weren't even real. They was just creating them because they're incentivized to open accounts. 9 times out of 10, the resistance that you're receiving from whatever banker that you're dealing with to open up your business trust account or your family trust account, and you got your contract indenture and you got the EIN, and they're trying to, whatever, it's due to ignorance. These people got jobs. These people got more, 9 times out of 10, they probably got hella student loans, a car payment, an insurance payment, a mortgage or a rent payment, children, and food that they got to buy. They're not trying to jeopardize their job for someone who walked in off the street, like literally walked in off the street. They're not hating on you. There's no reason to get upset, emotionally upset in the public, acting in a fiduciary capacity as trustee on behalf of your private estate. That's actually inappropriate. It's inappropriate. Any emotion that's negative or impatient or any of these things that most people do privately, personally, I'm not going to sit here and wait in my, like a lot of stuff, a lot of people think that's appropriate. Well, I mean, whatever, but you're not acting on behalf of an entity. And I'm telling you, 9 times out of 10, you're dealing with these bankers, they are ignorant. They do not know what is going on. They're put on a good, fake it till you make it. They're smiling. They don't want to look stupid at their job. It's one of the worst places, Being very skeptical, asking a lot of questions. They're not hating on you. It's more than likely not racial. Relax. It's the mindset of a trustee. Most accountants are not informed with regards to the available means of a contract trust, a complex trust. They do the return, and you look at the return like, hold on, why did you check the box grantor and complex? Oh, because it's a grantor. Man, no, man, it is not. No, you ain't finna check no box on here that says grantor. No. You better amend that if you sent it in, or you better stop it. Well, I don't, sir. It's just a complex trust, man. The IRS recognizes 3 types of trust: simple, grantor, complex. I mean, we're simply dealing with the complex trust here. I'm actually telling you, you want me to write that down on an affidavit under penalty of perjury so you feel more comfortable not checking any other boxes, fam. Don't. They're more familiar with state-created trusts, a living trust. Man, these fools are cold with living trusts. Their legislation, they got to read statutes and legislation. And then, court citations to see how the, statutes are applied or whatever. Went to a state university or state college or state school program because, the state, it's a state mandate on education in each state. Y'all follow where I'm going? They're not familiar with these entities that are able to do business internationally. You're dealing with the state accountant, man. A state accountant, man. So when you come in, you go in there, you're talking to an accountant and stuff, you got to understand this. You got to have patience. Patience. One of the pillars of a private trustee. One of the pillars. You got to be willing to walk in that bank and attempt to open that account and be denied. Keep your cool and walk in the next day and sit down in the chair and go at it again. Good. Here's the thing. You only got to do it once. Once you get the account open, you're done. And you don't have to open another account. Anything happens to you, your heir, they're a successor trustee on the account. They're also, all they got to do is show their ID and they take over the account. It's the same account. It's just going to be the same account, okay? So you only got to do this thing once. And then number 2, the more you show your face consistently at the bank, the less you look like a scammer. You feel what I'm saying? You a scammer? Oh, no, I can't. All right, man, I'll be right. I'm going to go to the car. I'll be right back. They never come back, man. Come on, everybody's seen that. I've seen that. I've done it, I think. I was a scammer, but I've done it, Patience. You got to be patient. You got to be willing to be like, you know what, I'm just going to go, you know what I'm saying? I'm just going to go back. You got to take the time to do it. If you can't do it the next day, find a day that you can do it. If you can, deal with the same exact person. If they say, oh, I want to send this to legal, you know what they're saying to you? Oh, we're going to run this by legal. Do you know what they're saying to you? They're saying they don't know what the hell they're doing. They're saying that they outside of their depth. Basically, what does that mean to you when I say, hey, man, I need my attorney to look at this? What does that say to you? Like, realistically. Like, for real, what does that mean? It means that they don't know what they're talking about. You just walked in there with documents that are outside of the scope of their knowledge. They're not familiar. It's going to be rare. You're going to be, oh man, contract trust, complex trust. I know what you're doing. Congratulations, you're smart. Man, good luck. Good luck finding someone like that. It does happen though. Patience. All the accountants, the banker, they're all state educated. State educated. You follow where I'm going? We understand more than just state law. Our complex trust is an entity that's able to do business internationally. We understand that due to the structure of the entity, it is able to operate internationally. They're used to dealing with entities that are only structured to operate within the state. You ever looked at a Secretary of State website and it said a domestic corporation and foreign corporation? Did that ever make you wonder, like, what do you mean foreign corporation? You probably thought that was like from India or something. Nah, man. If I have a corporation in Kansas and I'm looking to register that corporation from Kansas in California, that Kansas corporation is foreign. It's foreign to California. Interesting, huh? This is an entity that's able to operate internationally. So patience is very, very important. Understanding the concept of commingling is very, very important. As a trustee, you have you should, if your contract is worth its weight, you're going to have a liability and indemnification clause of the contract with regards to the trustees. Now, as long as you, no matter what you do, every act or thing done or omitted or every power exercised or obligation incurred by any trustee in the administration of this trust organization or in connection with any lawful business affairs, properties, or concerns of this trust organization, whether ostensibly in their own name or in the trust organization's capacity, shall be done, omitted, exercised, or incurred strictly as a trustee and never as a particular private party. Never. Trustees shall assume in the capacity of trustees and not privately only such liability as to attach to this trust organization's properties. Trustees' liability shall not in any manner jeopardize any particular or private properties except for trustees' own willful breach of trust. So you want to, if, like I said, if you got an indenture that's worth its weight in gold, you're going to have some sort of language in that indenture. So in order to stand on that indemnification, on that limit, complete limit to any liability of you privately, you cannot commingle assets, commingle funds. Now, commingling can be done in a lot of ways. Purchasing assets with the trust, titling the asset in the name of the individual. Now, there's some ways where you can possibly substantiate something like that. But you better have a trust resolution from the Board of Trustees minute executed prior to that every single time to substantiate the transaction and to show the lack of commingling. You have to study these things. I want to study trust and what you can do and what I can do with the trust. Look, man, first thing I did was studied what the penalties were, how they trip people up, how they catch them. What are the mistakes to not make in the administration of my private estate? That's what I studied. And commingling, man, that was the downfall of a lot of trustees. Downfall, especially without its proper substantiation. Get your 12 steps, your 12-step private process from El Sharif, El Malik, Al, El Bay, Don, Bay, Day, El. Ain't got nothing to say about how to avoid commingling assets in specific situations. Nothing. Also, understanding the concept of self-dealing. Self-dealing. Taking property, funds from the trust for private use. Using trust assets or trust funds for non-trust purposes, for private purposes. You got a business trust that deals in the business of flooring, right? So y'all, the trust installs floors, make sure floors, wood floors, laminate floors, whatever floor you want. And then, as a trustee of the business trust, you go out and purchase a flat screen, 55-inch and stuff, and bring it home and stuff. That has nothing to do with the business of the trust, flooring, wood floors. I mean, what if you gonna floor something with one flat screen and then bring it home? You don't bring it to one of the trust properties. You don't leave it in the trust office. You bring it actually to your private domicile. You know. That's self-dealing. It gets tricky because what's the implication if I put my property in trust? How do I live in it? Ooh, you might want trustee training, player. I provide trustee training in the private. I've been doing it for multiple years. You can email me at admin@welcometothefoundation.com for more information on trustee training. It's crazy, in my opinion. You know, I come across a lot of people. I've been listening to your show for 3 years, you know, and then they get in trustee training, and they be like, man, you know, I thought listening to your show all this time that you was giving out all them jewels and stuff, and there wasn't too much I can learn more. You'd be surprised. You'd be surprised how much extra stuff I can give out in the public and blow your mind in the private. You'd be surprised. Creating business structures and family estates through contract is creating law. You understand how powerful contracts are? Contract makes the law. This entire world is run on contracts. Countries are run on contracts. States are run on contracts. The whole entire commercial system is run on contracts. Contracts are so powerful and important. You sign a contract, they turn around and deposit it as money. And, you know, the foundation, I don't get into that. What I do get into is the business structures and family estates created through contract, because contract is the law. And if you create your business structures and family estates through contract, you just created the law. And the elites are not going to legislate against themselves. They put this stuff in to protect themselves. Y'all know in 1913, they introduced the Internal Revenue Service. The Internal Revenue Service was created in 1913. In 1913, the 1040 and the 1041 was introduced at the same exact time. If you came from an informed family, you knew to file a 1041. If you came from an uninformed family, you didn't know, and you filed a 1040. They created the 1041 to protect themselves from the laws that they were about to pass. Y'all follow what I'm saying? In 1913, the IRS was created. Same year that IRS was created, they introduced the 1040 and the 1041. Uninformed and informed. And from 1913 to 1916, they passed the Income Tax, they passed the Death Tax Act, they passed the Probate Tax Act, and they passed the Inheritance Tax Act. 4 tax acts passed within 3 years of the inception of the Internal Revenue Service. I'm not playing. And this is in the game. So, you know, email me, admin@welcometothefoundation.com. If you want to get into trustee training, you want a consultation, admin@welcometothefoundation.com. Just let me know what's good. I mean, it ain't got to be a book, you know, or it can be a book. I'll read it all. But, I mean, I'm here. I'm here to assist you and serve you in whatever way is feasible, realistic, appropriate, and possible. And, you know, that's what it is. Absolutely, 100%. And, you know, whether it's, you know, bringing people on the show who can, you know, are masters at things that I am not a master at. assisting you in your private transition, helping you get your LLC set up and the business credit profile set up, and how to transition the things that you're already paying for right now onto the expense of the business, so you can start building credit on stuff you're already paying for. Send up, how to interface or correlate or relate your public business to your private estate seamlessly. And then, all the nuances, just get you on your feet, with, doing business, proper structure, proper bank accounts and stuff. So I got a debit card for my business trust. I got a debit card for my LLC, and I got a debit card for my family trust, man. It feels like I got a lot going on. So get used to it. Let it be normal. I'm going to take a couple calls. I've kind of been in the habit of not taking calls lately because I feel like, I wanted to focus more of the time on disseminating, information, really. But I'm going to take a couple calls, and then I'm going to end the show. We got about 7 minutes left in the broadcast. Depending on how the callers are, we may go over a little bit. We may not. But we got 7 minutes. Well, we got less than 7 minutes now in the broadcast. If you are listening online, you may want to call in. So when we start streaming, you're not disconnected. And you'll have to catch the rest of the show on the archive. Call-in number 424-222-5250. Once again, 424-222-5250. I'm going to go to the first caller, been on hold the longest. Put your hand up. 405-9575. Once again, 405-9575. Welcome to the foundation. Peace. What's your name? Where you calling from?
Yes, can you hear me?
Yes, I can. Peace.
Okay, yes, sir. Yeah, peace to you as well, brother. Thank you so much for the information this evening. My question is, what you were saying about the EIN. I'm in the process of having citizenship corrected from the 14th Amendment to state citizenship status. And my understanding is that you can acquire an EIN for banking purposes only. With what you were saying about the IRS's correction of the process, does that mean we'll no longer be able to acquire EINs to use for banking purposes, or are you just saying we won't be able to use pre-existing EINs to acquire new EINs?
Correct. The latter. So
okay.
It will no longer allow people to use prior EINs, whether it's trust EINs, LLC EINs, corporate EINs, or whatever, to obtain new EINs, trust EINs, corporate EINs, estate EINs, so on and so forth. They'll require a Social Security number. So you can still do it.
Okay.
You have to give them the Social Security number. There's going to be no option for a responsible party.
Okay. Well, it kind of already answers my question, but I'll go ahead. If I'm in the process of rescinding the social and I'm no longer going to be associated with that, the only other option would be to use the ITIN.
I know people use the estate number.
The estate? Okay, let me write that down.
So, I mean, if from what I understand, part of that process is, to obtaining the estate number.
Okay.
I don't know. Don't quote me though. But I know people. Okay. I know people personally that use the estate. They get an estate number with the social, and they use the estate number instead of the social.
Okay, I'll definitely look into that. And then one more thing. This is kind of a general question. I'm going to be shutting down the bank account as that is currently attached to the social, pretty much starting over from square one. And my question is, there's actually a federal statute regarding sworn statements, and there have been some publications in legal journals and things like that about people making sworn declarations without a notary. Is the notary absolutely essential to this process, or can we just use sworn statements under penalty of perjury if we're not able to access that? So,
in the public, let's talk about an Article 1 court. Let's say that because, that's where traffic court is, small claims court.
Administrative tribunal. Yes, sir.
Okay,
yes, sir.
Perfect. they cannot. The only way they cannot see private documents. I'm not saying literally. A notary brings a private document into the public, so now they can see it with now that there's a notary stamp. So it's not admissible in court, which means it's not official in the public without that notary stamp.
I see.
So I would definitely keep that in mind.
Okay, so just the affidavits would be necessary for all that.
Well, I don't know exactly what process you're doing, but I mean, you can't. I'm not going to say you can't, but you're going to have a hard time. And it's going to be next to impossible to get anybody in the public to recognize your private documents without some sort of official seal. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, no, I definitely hear you. Yeah,
so you can do the affidavit.
Tribunal.
Say it again. I'm sorry.
Sorry, I didn't mean to. No, it's cool. I was just going to say that the administrative tribunal, with these courts operating under Article 1 instead of operating under the judiciary, and with them regulating commerce and everything, it really is. I mean, I know there's really not much of a silver bullet because the system is designed to obfuscate and it's designed to deceive us, and the legalese and the syntax and them using Latin and all that kind of stuff. It's designed to be a complex process. So I've been at this for 12 years, and I'm just now coming to a point where I feel comfortable enough to exercise it. But I'm just, since I'm shutting down the bank account, I'm mainly looking for just something that I can take into court with me in between the time that account is shut down and opening up a new account to get affidavits. I mean, I know there's other ways you can get a notary and apostille services and stuff like that, but the thing about that, though, is they require identification, and I don't want to use the driver's license or state ID because that's attached to U.S. citizenship. So I'm working on getting my state passport, but getting the state citizen passport, they don't want to give that to you because when you mark not U.S. citizen, that's going to be a red flag. So it's just that's basically just what I'm looking at. I mean, I know it's a web, but
the biggest thing is to rebut their presumption. They operate on presumption, assumption, and color of law. So if you can rebut that presumption and stand on your different superior status, so to speak. Now, you talked about the tribunals. They're judges, but in that venue, in the Article 1 venue, they're acting as administrators. They're administrating the contract dispute between two parties. So they're presuming and assuming that you are consenting party to an implied contract. Then you can say whatever you want. But if you haven't rebutted that presumption and assumption for the record, on the record, however you do it, put them on notice, you send it to the, and then you can say it, like, hey, I published this in the paper and I didn't get a rebuttal. I sent this to the Secretary of State and the Attorney General and I didn't get a rebuttal. And, this has been on the record for 2 years and I haven't heard anything. That's where you start, really putting, really start finding that chink in the armor is when you can stand on, because they can't respond. They're in a certain public capacity. So a person acting in a public capacity for government or whatever cannot submit an affidavit to rebut a private affidavit. Does that make sense?
Well, plus,
so once you put it on the record, go ahead.
No, well, I was just going to say the other thing is they don't want the cat out of the bag. That's why it's usually best to stay out of court and do this thing through the paperwork, because if you go into court where all these other, citizens of the public and 14th Amendment citizens and all that, you start talking about this stuff in front of them, they don't want that information out. And it's usually why you see so-called sovereign citizens getting arrested, getting all these types of things. The judges ignore them. A lot of that's because they didn't do their paperwork correctly.
They didn't give notice. They didn't get proper. You give them notice to who you are. If you do go to court, they're going to call your case last. There ain't going to be nobody else in the courtroom with you. And that's because you gave them proper notice. You put them on notice to who you are. They're going to hear your case. I did it one time. I put them on notice who I was. I checked in first. She said, "Ooh, you're the first one to check in this morning. You're early bird." Right. They called my case last, dead last, at like 3 o'clock in the afternoon. No, I didn't get thrown in jail. I didn't get pushed anywhere because I'm not standing out there in front of other people, sitting down talking pretty much crazy, alerting the public. So,
right.
yeah, I
right.
mean, that's something to
All
take
right.
in consideration, too. A gentleman always gives notice, and you want to say, hey, man, I put y'all on notice of this. And I have not
Yes,
heard
sir.
anything back from you. I've had no rebuttal. Nobody said that this was illegal or I'm subject to something. So, this stands as fact. And, until y'all start rebutting this affidavit of identity or sovereignty or affidavit of non-commercial entity or whatever it is, however you're looking at it, until y'all can address this and rebut this, I don't think, we're really dealing with what I perceive as a lack of jurisdiction. And when jurisdiction is questioned, everything has to stop in the court case.
Exactly. Challenged at any time and cannot proceed without. All right. Well, thank you so much for taking my call. I'll get off so that other people can get the questions answered. But the email you provided, that's on the admin email that you provided. Can I email you about the consultations that you provide?
Yeah, absolutely. Admin at welcometothefoundation.com. Absolutely.
All right. Yes, sir. Thank you so much.
All right, it's a pleasure. Peace. All right, 718-8092. I think this is Brother Darryl, man. Peace.
Hey, peace, fam. How you doing? Hey, so L, one thing I want to say, so now, if I want to start do anything with the EIN, I have to do it now.
No,
I have something now.
No, I just want to be clear. I'm not saying that you can't get EINs after May 13th. What I'm saying is, in order to get an EIN after May 13th, you have to give them a Social Security number. That's what I'm saying.
Okay, I have already now. I have I got something set up, and it's been 4 years. Well, 4 years I've been listening to you. You know that, right?
I did not know that. Thank you.
Yes, it's been 4 years, cause it's been 4 years, and you spit good now like that. You spit off the top, off the head. And from there, like like you gave them a lot of stuff, but they're gonna have to go into they're gonna have to be a student to learn more. And from what they've been hearing, they don't realize that you have been giving them something that they don't have to be a student for, but that's student stuff, and then from there, like yes. So but as I said, I flew to come and see you. You came local, and wherever you go at around this universe, I will come to see you. I'll make sure I'm there if I can make it, and hopefully, I'm looking to be forward there with you wherever you go. Me and my family, our family, because you do call me family, you do call us family. But I'm gonna let you take the next caller because I like to set up a lot of things, but as I said before, a lot of people thought about themselves. They didn't think about the future generation, and they gotta stop thinking about themselves. They gotta think about the ones that come after them. And I'm gonna let you take the next caller, man. I love you. I love all your callers. I love everybody who comes on the show. And I'm gonna let you take the next caller. And I'll be talking to you soon. Don't let the calls be one-sided. Don't let me always call you. Call me sometime. All right?
Absolutely, man. Yeah, definitely. Love you too, man. Thanks for listening to me 4 years, man. I'm humbled. I appreciate you.
Okay. All right.
I'll talk to you soon, man. Have a great evening.
Okay. You too.
Thank you. Peace.
You're welcome. Peace.
All right, you know what? I'm just going to say that's it. I love y'all. I really appreciate y'all. I don't know if y'all can tell. I don't know if you're into spirits or energies or something. But, like, I like to consider myself a pretty genuine dude. And I'd have genuine concern and love for, my fellow man and woman. You know what I mean? Like, it's serious. I mean, we all live in very similar manners. We all have the same, concerns, fears, hopes, dreams, wishes, And it just may take different forms, but it's pretty much the same stuff, man. We all want to be respected. We all want to be loved. We all want to be looked at and regarded with kindness and caring. And, any time that we don't behave in them things, it's either, we just having a weak moment and stuff, and we're all entitled to weak moments. But what I'm trying to say is, I look at myself as a pretty genuine dude, and I really genuinely have feelings and care for the success of, the people who, have consented to allow Sot into your consciousness. It's a humbling experience. I'm very humbled. It's not me. It's the ancestors. It's the creator. I'm just a hollow reed. And, I just try to let this stuff flow through me as best as possible. You know what I mean? But it's not anything I take for granted in any way, shape, or form at all. 100%. And I try to give y'all the business. I really do, because there's so much more that you need to learn. I don't know why people be trying to hold back. Like they're trying to gouge you, I guess. I know somebody charging $20,000 for trustee training, man. Great Scott. But I appreciate y'all. Enjoy yourself. Take care of yourself. Always, every day, work to put yourself in a better position, to put your family in a better position, to put your friends in a better position, whatever. It doesn't matter. Whatever is your dance and however you do it, just do your best every single day. And don't worry about it. Just let it go. And look for tomorrow. But consistency and dedication is the name of the game. If you're consistent every day, I don't care if it's 7, 10 minutes, 2 hours. If you're consistent every day and dedicated to results, positive results, substantive results of your actions and your labor, you will reach whatever you're looking at, whatever you're hoping for. The hardest part is along the way when you don't have the direct results, the immediate results, and maybe you're being discouraged and people are laughing at you and saying you can't do it because they don't believe in themselves that they can do it. And it makes them more comfortable being around people that are like themselves. You know what I'm saying? Don't you feel more comfortable when you find someone that has more things in common with you? It makes you feel comfortable, huh? Well, it's the same thing on the negative side too, man. If I ain't about shit, I'm going to be more comfortable around people who ain't about shit either. You know what I mean? It is what it is, because at least he ain't judging me for me not being about shit and make me feel bad about my choices. So make the best choices that you can and do it on a daily basis. We make choices every second. Life is about choices, positive and negative. You gotta learn this stuff. We need to know something's coming. Big transfer of wealth is happening right now, and something's coming that's gonna lock some stuff down. I can see it. It's looking weird. And I have genuine concern for my people. I love y'all. Y'all have a great week. Enjoy yourself. Take care of yourself. 10 things that you're thankful for. I want you to say out loud every single evening before you go to bed. 10 things that you're thankful for. And say it again right when you wake up before you brush your funky mouth. Say it again every single day and watch your life change. Y'all have a good week. I'll be back next week. Same label. That's what I want to call it. High Frequency Radio Network. I appreciate y'all. Love y'all. Peace to the gods.
Doing this thing all the way live. High Frequency Radio.